Graduands, guests and colleagues, my name is Mary Haworth, and it is both an honour and a privilege to stand before you today and welcome you to this August 2020 virtual graduation ceremony. As graduates, you will join an international community of over 123,000 York alumni in 183 countries. The York Global Alumni Association organises many events, networks and services designed to help you make connections with other alumni across the world and boost your career prospects. As you get your first job or take up further study or training, please remember to keep us in touch with what you're doing. Understanding the career paths that you take will help us to provide the right support for current students and make sure we offer graduates like you relevant information and opportunities. Today is a very special day for all of you. Graduation is a milestone, but today is not the graduation any of us had quite envisaged, and we do, of course, want to bring you all back to campus for a celebration as soon as it is safe to do so. So our virtual ceremony is different, but we hope that you will find lots to appreciate in this next hour or so, and a few surprises along the way. So please do stay with us. We very much hope that you're enjoying your day with your family, friends, and the supporters who've been with you on this remarkable journey that you've all taken. We'd love to hear how you're all celebrating today, so please use the hashtag #UOYGraduation on social media to share your stories, thank your friends and supporters, and raise a glass to your achievements. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Professor Sir Malcolm Grant, University Chancellor, who will declare the congregation open for the conferment of awards.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome most warmly to this graduation ceremony of the University of York. Today, we recognise the achievements of our students in the arts and humanities at the university. But this is a graduation ceremony somewhat different from those to which we've been accustomed. Normally, we would be in the central hall. It would be ringing with laughter, with congratulations, with hugs, with tears and with cheers. And there would be music, there would be ceremonial, there would be robes, and there would be cries of congratulations and applause. So it's not like that this year for reasons that we all understand, and we hope that normal service will be resumed as soon as possible. So at this ceremony, Wednesday, 26th of August, we are reflecting on the achievements of our graduating class in the arts and humanities. And if there's one thing that the COVID pandemic has brought home to me, it has been the sheer importance, not only obviously of medical sciences, of physical sciences, of social sciences, but also of the arts and humanities themselves. Are we going to develop a deeper sense of community, a deeper sense of values as a consequence of this crisis? It certainly has already changed a great deal of the way I think about society, about the future, about family and friendship relationships. And so those who sometimes are critical of the arts and humanities as not leading to a job directly have, I think, a very distorted view of the value of higher education and of these very special subjects themselves. So today's ceremony is very much along the lines of what we would have had in Central Hall. There will be formal awards of degrees, there will be a very special honorary graduate, and there will be some musical interludes. But let me stress that although this is an unusual format for a graduation ceremony, it has the same solid and solemn purpose of those ceremonies in the Central Hall, which is this. You come at the beginning of this ceremony as graduands, i.e. those who have satisfied the course requirements, and you leave at the end of the ceremony as graduates. Not just graduates, but graduates of the University of York. And I know that you will hold a very special place in your heart forever for the place where you earned your degree. These degrees are not conferred lightly, they are earned, and you have our full respect and our warmest congratulations and our best wishes to you and to your family and to your friends and to your supporters who've seen you through the past few years. I declare open this congregation for the conferment of awards, and I hand over to the Dean, Professor Ambrose Field.
Thank you, Chancellor. I am Professor Ambrose Field, Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Humanities. Graduation is an incredibly important part of life here at University of York, and I welcome you all. Congratulations, graduands, on achieving your goals, which marks, for some of you, the end of your academic journey. You are graduating during a very challenging year, and we are immensely proud of you and the investment of your time, effort, and commitment to reach this momentous milestone despite extraordinary circumstances. The Faculty of Arts and Humanities are proud of our internationally recognized research excellence and the stimulating and imaginative learning experiences of our taught courses. It is your work that has helped us gain this outstanding reputation. We hope that you have enjoyed studying in our individual departments and centres just as much as we have enjoyed having you here at York. We wish you all the best for an excellent future, and please do feel welcome to stay in contact and let us know of your achievements. So on behalf of the Faculty of Arts and Humanities, Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates. Doctor of Philosophy in Archaeology. Master of Arts by Research in Conservation Studies. Master of Arts in Conservation Studies. Master of Arts in Conservation Studies, Historic Buildings. Master of Arts in Field Archaeology. Master of Arts in Funerary Archaeology. Master of Science in Bioarchaeology. Bachelor of Arts in Archaeology. Bachelor of Arts in Archaeology and Heritage. Bachelor of Arts in Historical Archaeology. Bachelor of Science in Archaeology. Bachelor of Science in Bioarchaeology. Doctor of Philosophy in English. Master of Arts in English Literary Studies. Master of Arts in Medieval Literatures and Languages. Master of Arts in Victorian Literature and Culture. Bachelor of Arts in English. Bachelor of Arts in English with placement year. Bachelor of Arts in English and History. Bachelor of Arts in English and History of Art. Bachelor of Arts in English and Philosophy. Bachelor of Arts in English and Politics. Doctor of Philosophy in History. Master of Arts in Medical History and Humanities. Master of Arts in Medieval History. Master of Arts in Modern History. Master of Arts in Public History. Bachelor of Arts in History. Bachelor of Arts in History with a year abroad. Bachelor of Arts in History and Economics. Bachelor of Arts in History and French. Bachelor of Arts in History and French with a year abroad. Bachelor of Arts in History and History of Art. Bachelor of Arts in History and Philosophy. Bachelor of Arts in History and Politics. Doctor of Philosophy in History of Art. Master of Arts in History of Art. Master of Arts in History of Art, Modern and Contemporary Art. Master of Arts in Stained Glass Conservation and Heritage Management. Bachelor of Arts in Curating and Art History. Bachelor of Arts in History of Art.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ensemble Anonimi will perform Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. All through my city, all through my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we're in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet, that hot blood in my body when it drops. I can't take my eyes and puff it, it's so good on my lead. Unlock the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well you already know. So just imagine, just imagine. I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. I could go creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. Not watching nobody leaving soon, just keep dancing. Can't stop the feeling. Just dance, dance, dance. Can't stop the feeling.
Come on.
Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. Don't need no reason, don't need control. I'm flying high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet, that hot blood in my body when it drops. I can't take my eyes off it, moving so good on the lead. Unlock the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights where everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well you already know. So just imagine, just imagine, just imagine. I can see but you dance, dance, dance. I could go creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. So keep on dancing. Just dance, dance, dance.
Come on. I
can't stop the got this feeling in my body. Got this feeling in my body. Wanna see you move your body. Got this feeling in my body. No. Got this feeling in my body. Got this feeling in my body. Come on.
Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates. Doctor of Philosophy in Language and Communication. Doctor of Philosophy in Linguistics. Master of Arts by Research in Linguistics. Master of Arts in Phonetics and Phonology. Master of Science in Forensic Speech Science. Bachelor of Arts in English and Linguistics. Bachelor of Arts in English Language and Linguistics. Bachelor of Arts in English Language and Linguistics with placement year. Bachelor of Arts in French and German Language with a year abroad. Bachelor of Arts in French and Italian Language with a year abroad. Bachelor of Arts in French and Spanish language with a year abroad. Bachelor of Arts in German and Philosophy. Bachelor of Arts in German and Spanish language with a year abroad. Bachelor of Arts in Italian and Spanish language with a year abroad. Bachelor of Arts in Linguistics with French. Bachelor of Arts in Linguistics with French with a year abroad. Bachelor of Arts in Linguistics with Italian. Bachelor of Arts in Linguistics with Italian with a year abroad. Bachelor of Arts in Linguistics with Spanish. Bachelor of Arts in Linguistics with Spanish with a year abroad. Bachelor of Arts in Linguistics. Doctor of Philosophy in Medieval Studies. Master of Arts in Medieval Studies. Doctor of Philosophy in Music. Master of Arts by Research in Music. Master of Arts in Music. Postgraduate Diploma in Music Production. Bachelor of Arts in Music. Bachelor of Arts in Music and Sound Recording. Doctor of Philosophy in Philosophy. Master of Arts in Philosophy. Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy. Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy with a year abroad. Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy and Sociology. Doctor of Philosophy in Theatre, Film and Television by Creative Practice. Doctor of Philosophy in Theatre, Film, Television and Interactive Media. Master of Philosophy in Theatre, Film, Television and Interactive Media by Creative Practice. Master of Arts by Research and Screenwriting. Master of Science by Research in Interactive Media. Master of Arts in Digital Film and Television Production. Master of Arts in Post-Production with Visual Effects. Master of Science in Post-Production with Visual Effects. Postgraduate Certificate in Post-Production with Visual Effects. Bachelor of Arts in Theatre, Writing, Directing and Performance. Bachelor of Science in Film and Television Production. Bachelor of Science in Film and Television Production with placement year. Bachelor of Science in Interactive Media. Bachelor of Science in Interactive Media with placement year. Bachelor of Science.
It is my enormous pleasure to introduce Yoonjung Kim, our student orator, who will speak on behalf of the class of 2020. Our student orators have been invited to speak in recognition of their hard work on behalf of the student community and commitment to their studies. Our speakers have both pursued the most enriching experience they could during their time at York, as well as giving back to their community. On behalf of the class of 2020, I give you Yoonjung Kim.
It's my pleasure to welcome students, families, and faculty to the University of York's online graduation ceremony. My name is YJ Kim, and I am an interactive media graduate. I don't think any of us imagined we would be graduating like this, but wherever you are, in whichever time zone, I want to congratulate each and every one of you. By the time our graduation ceremony is happening, I will have finished my mandatory 2-week quarantine in Korea before I can see my grandparents in person. What a strange time we live in, right? And now they expect us to graduate in this economy? All jokes aside, this pandemic has affected us in a myriad of different ways, and we all have had to make huge adjustments to our lives. I think it is easy to forget that we are all in this together and that these struggles are universal. Our trials and tribulations may feel so personal that it is easy to feel incredibly lonely in these times. But I want to take this moment to remind you and myself that we will get through this and we will get through it together. Remember those nights finishing a 48-hour exam or pulling all-nighters into computer labs trying to get that last piece of code to work? I remember the endless cups of coffees, watching the sunrise from the library, trying to write the perfect conclusion to my paper, and when something went wrong, it all almost felt like the end of the world. But I forced myself to continue grumbling with my course mates, wallowing in our miseries together. We would eventually just push through, submit our work, and pray for the best. A couple weeks later, our marks would come out and we'd all breathe a sigh of relief. Oh, I did better than I thought. Sometimes it's really hard to believe in ourselves, whether it's the day before an exam or as you submit your essay, you definitely should have started weeks ago. It can all feel like the end of the world. We let time pass, and then we realize it was only a minor bump in the road. We learn from each assignment at uni how to improve on the next one. And although it may feel like the end of the world today, remember to breathe. Remember that there are people here to always support you and that we are all in this together. In a way, the world may not expect much from us. The feeling of being an underdog, starting out with disadvantages, frustrations of feeling like we've been dealt the wrong hand, are all valid. But the great thing to being an underdog is that people may not expect much from us, but we will push through. We have done it. We have finished and finished strong, and we will continue to beat the odds. Remember, you have your course mates, your lecturers, your friends, your family, and I have special people to thank, and I want to take this time to do so. I want to thank the faculty and staff at Interactive Media, the small underdog course of TFTI, the staff who care so much about their students and who truly go above and beyond to make sure all our needs are met. I want to thank my former supervisor, Jenna, for not being just a teacher, but a mentor and a friend. Supervision meetings are supposed to be 15 minutes long, right? But mine were an hour long. Thank you, Jenna, for always believing in me and teaching me that living in the UK gets easier with time and to invest in a good winter coat. I also want to thank my Korean grandparents for watching this and have no idea what I'm saying in the speech, so I'll say it in Korean. 할아버지, 할머니, 감사합니다. 그리고 사랑해요. If you're lucky enough to be watching this with your family and friends, please give them a hug and thank them. Remind them how much you love them, and if you aren't with your loved ones, text them, call them, or even FaceTime them. In a way, we are blessed to be able to be so connected with our loved ones through technology. Although we are graduating today into uncertain times where the world may not expect much from us, we University of York students can apply what we have learned in university in the real world and push through. We managed to graduate in the middle of a pandemic. We can do anything. Remember that you have a community here that's not just for 3 years, but forever, and then that friendships and connections you have made along the way will be there to guide you. We are the underdogs, the graduating class of 2020 that will beat the odds and prevail. Everything will be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. Thank you.
We are honoured today by the presence of Nicola Benedetti, MBE, and I'm pleased to present Dr. Martin Suckling from the Department of Music, who will pay tribute to Ms. Benedetti.
Chancellor, it is a huge privilege to present our honorary graduand, Nicola Benedetti, CBE. Nicola first burst into public prominence with an electrifying performance of Szymanowski's Violin Concerto to win the 2004 BBC Young Musician of the Year. Though, if, like me, you were a budding violinist in 1990s Scotland, you already had advance warning through her leading, at the age of 8, the National Children's Orchestra of Scotland. Ever since her BBC success, Nicola's star has shone brightly. A worldwide performing career, a series of best-selling records and a slew of awards. Twice a winner at the Classical Brits and now a Grammy, an MBE in 2013, CBE in 2019, the youngest ever recipient of the Queen's Medal for Music in 2017. The list goes on. As her official bio puts it simply, she is one of the most sought-after violinists of her generation. Nicola's musicianship is rightly celebrated. Her dedication and constant striving for the highest possible standards and inspiration to us all, and the product of all this work, pure joy to experience. But she is no mere violinist. To use an idiom that's inherently odd to a musician, but nevertheless appropriate here, there are many more strings to her bow. Nicola has described classical music as a grand and beautiful dialogue between instinct and intelligence, and she has used her position and performing career to ensure this beautiful dialogue can reach as many people as possible. She is a passionate advocate for classical music, and in particular for the critical value of music education for all in contemporary society. Her speech to the Royal Philharmonic Society last year on this topic is essential viewing, but her actions speak louder than words ever could. Nicola has been central to the Systema Scotland project since its foundation in 2008, as big sister to the big noise schemes that place music education at the centre of the school experience, with a particular emphasis on making music together across the whole community. Through this work, she has contributed to long-term research projects whose results demonstrate the positive impacts on life skills, educational, emotional, social, musical and physical aspects of young people's lives. More recently, Nicola set up the Benedetti Foundation, an organisation that combines year-round advocacy for the place of quality arts and culture in our schools and our homes, alongside making this a reality through their orchestra-based workshops for young people and teachers. The extraordinary circumstances of the global pandemic led to an extraordinary response from the Benedetti Foundation, who ran a series of virtual sessions in May with synchronous and asynchronous resources via YouTube, Facebook and Zoom, reaching thousands of participants worldwide. These sessions supported so many people, offering current music students some much-needed high-level ensemble playing in the isolation of lockdown, including members of our student body, offering young professionals tutoring and support roles, including recently graduated members of our student body, and offering the very youngest musicians entertaining and inspirational music games, support and individual advice as they start their musical journey, including my 6- and 3-year-olds. These sessions were a remarkable achievement and, incidentally, a fantastic example to us in this university of how to manage online teaching to the highest possible standard. Through all of this, Nicola was not just a figurehead. She was there every day, speaking words of encouragement to all participants every morning. She was there working with hundreds of beginner violinists on a Zoom call, joking with them, making them feel special. And in particular, she was there talking about mental health, sharing her own experiences about the pressures of maintaining the highest possible standards and how to look after your well-being as a musician. There are many, many more examples of the ways in which Nicola has brought down barriers, demystified and broadened the reach of classical music, and not just the standard repertoire. As a composer, I am grateful for her fly-on-the-wall documentary of the sometimes challenging process of bringing Wynton Marsalis's violin concerto to its first performance. Chancellor, running through all of Nicola's projects is a desire to communicate and to associate this with community. As she puts it, that enriching experience of creating something collectively. This too is the spirit of a university that exists for the public good. And so it is with great pleasure that I present to you Nicola Benedetti for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, honoris causa.
Through the power vested in me by the University of York, I have great pleasure in conferring upon Nicola Benedetti the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
Thank you, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor and the University of York for this enormous honour bestowed upon me today. And thank you so much to the wonderful Martin Suckling for that far too generous but deeply personal and considered introductory presentation. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much. And please allow me to extend an enormous congratulations to every single one of you graduating this year. I would be saying congratulations to you all any year at any time, but of course this year is unprecedented and has had so many challenges. So I want to say a particular well done to all of you for getting through it. Usually I would be standing here seeing you all and hopefully meeting some of you too, but of course this year that is not possible. So I'm here dressed appropriately and accordingly and just want to share some brief insights and thoughts with you on things that I have learned in my experiences as a touring performing violinist. But first I want to start with the truth, which is that I never attended university, nor did either of my parents. Having started violin at the age of 4, not remembering anything of life before the violin, and moving to a specialist music school when I was 10 years old, and spending, anything between when I was 4 or 5 years old, 30 minutes a day practicing to, by the time I was a teenager, up to 5 or 6 hours a day practicing. I actually left formal education at the age of 15 and pretty much instantly started playing and performing for actual audiences. And for that reason, I want to tell you that I have both an intense admiration and an intense envy for the experience that you all have had and some of you will continue to have. So now I'd like to share some thoughts and ideas with you. The first being how we learn. We all hear all the time about the fact that information and education is a privilege and a human right, and it's upheld all over the world as a key to a deeper, more meaningful existence, or perhaps a more successful life, a better job, continued development personally and collectively. But a thing like information and education does not just exist on its own. Its existence comes into being when you interact with it. Those pages and books and your lectures and papers, they are static, and only when you absorb and interact with them do they ignite and become active. So I want to share with you one of the biggest realizations that I have had over the last couple of years, which is that the quality of how you absorb what you hear and how you absorb what you learn is much more important than the quantity, or even necessarily than the subject within which you receive your education and information. Because the deeper question of how you absorb that information leads you to the quality of the lesson that you are learning. Lessons such as, how can you express yourself and listen carefully at the same time? How can you balance being relaxed and calm and confident with being humble and eager to learn? How can you work hard and be disciplined without being totally socially absent? How can you be ambitious for yourself but maintain integrity towards other people, never cheat people, and also act in the best interest of those around you? I want to advise you all to leave space for yourself to grapple with the largest and hardest concepts that there are to learn, because those largest concepts exist in every single area, in every single subject. Leave time and space to develop your internal life and internal health, the health of your thoughts and the health of your consciousness. So be present. Don't try to hear and learn all things at once. The quality of one significant thought or realization will have more impact on you than a million others put together. So be present, be patient, and allow those big thoughts through what you learn and through what you're taught come to you. The second one is, once you know what you're doing is something that you have love for, push yourself to the limit with that thing. Be willing to push yourself to serve an apprenticeship to those more experienced than you, to practice respect and deference even when you don't feel like it. We all know that feeling. To sacrifice and to really feel sacrifice in time, in effort, in dedication, and be okay with being uncomfortable, and put up with those hours being awake day and night trying to make a deadline or complete a project or bring into focus an idea. But I started by saying, once you realize it's something you love, because energy does not work in a finite way. The thing that you love feeds you with energy, and therefore you can put into that thing more and more energy. So have the space and the presence of mind to find that thing you're passionate about. And once you feel that, absolutely go for it. Push yourself to the limit. The third thing I want to say is to quote my dad, who would always say that life is about people and business is about people. Sounds like a very predictable phrase, but if you think about it, we develop skills, we absorb loads of knowledge, we think the quality of our work is the only important thing. But having been traveling and performing since I was 16 years old and been in an industry for that long, I can tell you that personal connections and relationships not only are vital to your well-being and your happiness, but they are vital to you doing the best possible job that you can. And for you to have increased meaningful success in your vocation, relationships are going to be vitally important. So cherish them, never take people for granted, be polite and kind, and listen to what people have to offer you and to give you. The fourth thing I want to share with you is that we are not always right. I think there is an unbelievably wonderful, active optimism in youth, in our younger years, and it's an incredible thing. But it can, and we are all aware that, especially online at the moment, there can be accompanied with that an intolerance of another perspective. We are so sure we're right that we cannot fathom that another perspective so far away from our own could possibly have any weight to it. I'm now 33. No, I'm not old, but you know, I'm getting on. I can tell you that the things I was so sure I would never change my mind about when I was 21, I have learned to be a lot more open-minded about different perspectives. So try not to shoot people down too quickly and give people the benefit of the doubt. The fifth one is to embrace your own individuality and creativity. Now, I know you have all read a lot and studied a lot over the last few years, back to that envy that I have of the experience that you've all had. But I can tell you that now is when your real education begins. Now is really the time to look and listen with the most open eyes and ears, and to try to consider being in, this seems like opposites, but being in a passive yet active position of observing and absorbing not only what's around you, but also observing and absorbing your own thoughts as they come to you, and your own genius and your own creativity. You all have something to contribute, and you all have something to give, and never let anybody make you feel otherwise. The world that we live in now has an unfathomable amount of structure in it, and an overwhelming number of do's and don'ts, and acceptable things and unacceptable things. We all need to work hard to find our own individuality within these structures. So embrace your individuality and your creativity. And the final one is to address this moment in time. Of course, we are surrounded by, on a daily basis, a bombardment of unbelievably negative projections into the future of no jobs and economic crisis, and of course the health crisis that we are all undergoing. But I want to say to you, as an army of young people, to see every single moment as an opportunity. That's not to say be opportunistic, but see every moment in your life as an opportunity, because so often in history, out of nothing, the most unique and creative ideas were born. Now is a time for that outside of the box thinking to come into focus. And it's always scarier to not fall into an already trodden path. It's always scarier to be doing something for the first time. But the unknown element of that thing is also part of the fun. So try to embrace that idea as much as you can. Look at the problems you see in the world. Look at the problems you see around you, and try to find ways to solve them and to help people. And perhaps you can try to work out how to make some money along the way too. I just want to close with saying that I will, of course, follow the work and progress of this wonderful university. I look forward to seeing what all the graduates of 2020 will go on to do. It's been fascinating learning more about York University during this time, and I want to end with an enormous congratulations to each and every one of you, and another thank you, deep, heartfelt thank you for this honour. Congratulations, everyone.
I now have the pleasure of introducing Professor Charlie Jeffrey, Vice-Chancellor and President.
Graduates from the Faculty of Arts and Humanities, it's such a pleasure to be able, albeit at distance, to offer you my congratulations on your graduation from the University of York. Graduation ceremonies are perhaps the most special part of my job. They mark the creativity, the energy, the passion, and the sheer hard work that you, our graduates, have put into your studies. This year they mark something else too, your resilience and determination. It wasn't easy after lockdown to adapt to learning and revising, and then to being examined online and at distance. You rose to that challenge. I salute you for that, and for all the efforts you've made in the last years. Let me say on behalf of all my colleagues how proud of you we are. I'm sure your family and friends are too. Normally, at this point, I would call on my colleagues and on your family and friends to summon up a raucous round of applause. So I hope that wherever you are now engulfed by claps, cheers, whoops and hollers of congratulation. I hope that behind me you can make out a little of our campus. The lawn, the pond and the extraordinary yew trees that comprise the quiet place behind Heslington Hall. 60 years ago there was no university here, but your university is already regarded as one of the UK's best and has an outstanding reputation worldwide. All the measures we routinely use on the quality of teaching, excellence of research, prospects of graduates, economic impact, they all confirm that strength, that reputation, that quality. That quality has a lot to do with our values. Our founders set up the university for public good. Our students were not just to be technically proficient in their fields, but also to be able to apply their learning for the benefit of our society in the UK and internationally. And our research was intended not just to open up new knowledge, but also to apply that knowledge with and through its students for, I quote, the amelioration of human life and conditions, or in other words, for public good. What do those values mean for you, our graduates? Let me answer that question by recalling a conversation I had a while ago with a group of leading figures from across the public and private sectors. The conversation was about what qualities they felt our graduates should have in an era of rapid technological change. The consensus was that while technical skills to work with new technologies were important, they were in the end temporary because technology will move on and therefore secondary. What was more important was the ability to adapt, to apply critical thinking to new challenges, to collaborate, to be comfortable in different settings, public or private sector, in different places, in different cultures. What we want from your graduates, one of them summed up, is wisdom. Wisdom, the ability to think and act using knowledge, experience, understanding and insight. You, some of the graduates we were imagining in that conversation, do not graduate only with proficiency in your subjects. You graduate also with the building blocks of that wisdom. You are, as the motto at the foot of the university crest suggests, at the threshold of wisdom. You graduate from a university which brings together students from a wide array of academic disciplines, all with an eye on the public good that their knowledge can contribute to. As a result, you will have encountered different ways of understanding the world around us and what you can do to help it flourish in future. And you will have got to know fellow students from all over that world. Our students hail from over 140 countries. We are a meeting place for students, local and international, to exchange the ideas, experiences and values they bring with them from different parts of the world. That exchange between students from different backgrounds, different places, happens within the classroom, but also beyond it. We are fortunate through our students' unions to have the richest variety of student societies and activities of any university in the UK. We cater for pretty much any shared interest you could imagine. Many of those shared interests look outward to address challenges our society faces, whether through community volunteering in and around York, campaigning on the crucial issues of our time like climate change, or building international understanding. The breadth of perspective that comes from being part of such a multidisciplinary, global and socially committed community is an asset that you, our graduates, will take with you as you develop your careers, and it will also be an asset for the organisations you go on to work for. That breadth of perspective nurtures wisdom, and that in turn becomes a powerful platform for public good. All that, in this most extraordinary of years, is all the more important. The pandemic we're living through has had a terrible impact on our health, on our economies, on the education of our young people. Many of those impacts have sharpened existing inequalities, both within countries and between richer and poorer parts of the world. We face as a result an enormous challenge of recovery and renewal. You will be central to that challenge. As you set out to meet it, we want to hear from you. We look forward to hearing about the ways in which you use the skills you've developed through your degrees, but also the wisdom you've built through your wider experience here at York. We look forward to hearing about how you use that wisdom to build your own careers, but also make your contribution to our founding principle, the amelioration of human life and conditions. We look forward to hearing about your contribution to the public good. That's a special feature of being part of our community at the University of York. Please do keep in touch. If this were a standard graduation ceremony, I'd now be calling on you, our graduates, to clap, cheer, hoop and holler for two groups of people. First, our staff at the university, our lecturers, of course, but also everyone else who's supported you in your time at York, departmental staff, librarians, cleaners, and many more. And second, your family and friends. I suspect they may have helped you from time to time during your period here at the university, providing advice, companionship, the occasional shoulder to cry on, laundry services, and no doubt a little bit of money here and there. So graduates, wherever you are, will you raise the roof for our staff here at the university and your family, friends and supporters? Thank you. As I close, I will make a commitment to you. We will invite you and your family and friends back when it's possible to do so, to celebrate your graduation in person, in full academic dress, in our magnificent Central Hall. I look forward very much to that day. Until then, I wish you every happiness and success as you enter the next phase in your lives. And I'm delighted we now have two distinguished honorary graduates from a few years ago to add their thoughts on the next phase of your lives to those you heard earlier from Nicola Benedetti. Baroness Hale, who recently completed her term as President of the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom, and the acclaimed author Michael Morpurgo. Goodbye from me.
Hello everyone. I'm Brenda Hale, recently retired as President of the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom. And 4 years ago, I had the pleasure of being awarded an honorary degree by your university and celebrating this at a ceremony with the new graduates who were receiving their proper degrees. It was, as I said then, a great day. Today is a great day too, even though the ceremony has to be done differently. We are still celebrating your achievements, and they are just as great as they would have been had we been together in person. Indeed, they are even greater, because you have had to contend with all the disruption which the COVID-19 pandemic has brought to your studies, your examinations, and your student lives of what should be the greatest celebration and culmination of them all. If COVID-19 has taught us anything, it is that anything can happen. We must expect the unexpected and do our best to prepare for it in advance. A university degree is just such a preparation. It gives you the skills you need to be able to turn your hand to whatever opportunities come your way. Thinking for yourself, researching for yourself, working hard when you have to, courage in the face of adversity, and the resilience to pick yourself up if things have not been going so well. Whatever the future holds for you, you should be able to cope. I think that a university also gives you the values you need to lead a successful life. The fair-minded evaluation of the evidence and arguments, a thirst to discover the truth, and above all, a respect for the equal dignity of all people, whatever their religion, their ethnicity, their gender, or their background. University is a great place for meeting all kinds of people whom we may never have met before. It's also a great place for making lifelong friends and having fun. So I hope you've done a lot of that too. So congratulations and every good wish to each and every one of you. Unlike me 4 years ago, you have had to work for the degrees which you so richly deserve. Well done.
Hello. Noli timere, don't be afraid. These were the last words spoken to his wife by the great Irish poet, world poet, Seamus Heaney. And we mustn't be. We have work to do. You have work to do. And we will do it together, with hope and truth at our side, because out of these dark days must come a better world. The discovery of truth, education, is finally the only way to begin to do that, to discover the truth about ourselves, about the lives of others, about history, and not just our history, about the good earth we all share. You are, we are, all on a journey of discovery. I'm coming to the end of mine. So what I have discovered in my 76 years, well, that knowledge and understanding through education can bring the harmony we all yearn for, the sense of belonging we all need. I want to wish you all the joy in the world on your journey of discovery. There will be hard times. You know that now. We all know that. Remember the words of another great writer, Bertolt Brecht. In the hard times, will there be singing? Well, you should know. You tell it. You sing. You clap. You laugh. You dance. Sing, dance, laugh. Clap away your fear. And stand and stare too. That will help. Oh, yes. And remember the Monty Python song. Always look on the bright side of life. Dee-dum, 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 dee-dum. That'll cheer you up. Be happy as you go on your journey. Make other people happy too. People matter. We all matter. Noli timere.
Thank you so much for being with us today. We hope you've enjoyed the event and that you enjoy the rest of the day, whether you're celebrating with family or joining one of the department digital events that many of our academic departments will shortly be hosting. Thank you.
Hey now, you're a rock star, get your show on, get paid.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
It's a cold place, and the city gets colder. You bundled up now, wait till you get older.
But the medium and back to the...
Judging by the hole in the satellite picture, the ice we skate is getting pretty thin.
The water's getting warm, so you may as well swim. The world's on fire, how about you?
That's the way I like it, and I'm gonna get bored. Hey!
Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play.
Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get paid.
And all that glitters is gold, only shooting stars
break the mold.
Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play.
Hey now, you're an all-star, get the game on, go play.
And all the glitter is gold, only shooting stars.
Somebody once asked if the best and change her guy.
I need to get myself away from this place.